One of my friends was telling me about how my videos are pretty much just Reddit stories, but watered down while playing Clash Royale. I'm like, hey, that's a good idea. So we're literally just gonna be reading Reddit stories while playing Clash Royale. Sounds like a good plan. All right, let's read the first one. The first story I found was I was camping in the I can't even read the first words, man. I was camping in the I'm just gonna say mountains. I was camping in the mountains with three of my guy friends. We were all laughing and telling stories around the fire one night, around midnight. The friend next to me grabbed my leg and pointed at the woods. We both saw a man's silhouette standing there. We called out to him, but he turned around and vanished from sight. Ooh, that's kind of scary, man. We were 18, no cell service, and camp was all pitched up at midnight. Too late to search for another spot where we might get away from whoever it was, and too scared to search for him. We decided to sleep through the night there with two-man watch teams. Holy smokes! All right, let's try and defend this. Try and defend this while not trying to lose our soul. All right, let's get back. Let's get back to the story, man. Yeah, two-man watch teams. No signs of him for the rest of the night. We got out of the woods. All right. 2 days later, two hikers were, and yeah, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, by a mentally disturbed man who had encountered them on a trail near where we were camping. Damn, man. Wait, that's looking kind of deep. That's scary. Alright. Every now and then, I wonder how close we came to having our cards punched that night by what could have been by weapon-wielding bad person. I'll say that. What? Wait, what? Dark, what is happening with that dark night? Holy smokes. Alright, it's whatever. I'm a chill guy. Alright, let's go for a night before charges. It charged. Okay, how do we defend this? We might have to sell our souls to defend this. Hopefully, just don't take my tower, and that's fine. You know what? I think I have to log this. I have to log this. Alright, let's go for the next story. Sweet older lady in our church was a retired nurse. Alright, let's go there. Never married, no kids. She had a golem? Alright. She had a heart attack, and while she was in the hospital, her niece and nephew came and took her stuff, all in caps. She had a modest apartment, but she had some very nice crystal and silver, and some lovely furniture. When she came home, she had no dishes, and almost no furniture. Damn, so I'm glad she survived the heart attack, but that sounds horrible, man. Hey, my hopes and prayers go out to you, lady. Alright, several years later, she passed away. Her most recent will, dated after her heart attack, left $1 each to her niece and nephew. Everything else went to the church. You know what? I'm gonna hop off from trophy mode and I'm gonna go to a normal game mode because this is too much, man. Alright, let's go to the next story. Alright, oh my god. Alright, this story. Ooh, I was almost abducted. Alright. If you're wondering how I got these stories, I literally just searched up craziest Reddit stories, and then I just clicked on the first link. Let's play some classic 1v1, man. I need the training. Alright, I was almost abducted. I went to a park when I was like 6 with my sister and my mom, and there was a really nice man who helped me up when I did. Here, actually, should I just put this like here? Oh, this is good, nice. Alright, so I can move my head easier. When I didn't quite stick the landing at the end of the slide, my mom noticed him and figured he was just being polite. Well, my sister runs off to my mom. And for a minute, so I'm alone. I look up and see the man looking at me and walk around the play area behind the slide and by the pond away from the view of my parents. I was curious, so I followed. He was crouched by the pond out of sight, and I remember tidbits, but I do remember he told me I was pretty and very mature for my age. What? Yo, you gotta get out of there, man. He then was asking me in the middle, asking me if I was only here with my sister. When my mom emerges, absolutely terrified and in a state of panic. Dude, I would look and be scared too, man. Some guy comes up to you and says you're very pretty. Damn scary. Never seen her like that to this day, and I think that's probably why it was seared into my memory. The man ran when she started yelling, WTF do you think you're doing? I started sobbing because my mom was yelling. Oh no, sorry, I skipped. Because my mom was yelling. She never yells. But it took me a few years to truly understand what happened and what could have happened. I did have this Stranger Things talk, but I just thought the man was so nice. That's all I remember from that day. I'm 99% sure my mom reported what happened to the police, but have no idea what happened after. That's deep, man. Okay, I might start playing Merch Tactics after, because my friend told me he likes watching Merch Tactics. So this one goes out to you. Can't say a real name. Axolot. All right, next one. When I was really little, I found that my pediatrician was missing for 6 months. And can we just do that? Yes, we can. For 6 months. And everyone has really worries, but holy bad grammar. And everyone has really worries. All right. But they eventually found him dead. Oh, I'm sorry, man. In a camping preserve. He had committed I'll just say self-harm. Hey, and if you guys are ever in a, this is just for anyone out there, but if you guys are in a place where you feel like you need to do self-harm, please don't be afraid to get help. Reaching out for help isn't a bad thing. All right, now with that part over, let's continue. But he was a very nice person, so it was definitely heartbreaking. Holy man, stop. But we found out in his note that he would sometimes inject water instead of vaccines into kids because something I forgot about. Wow. So there is a good chance that I missed out on some of my childhood jobs because of this, and it is so weird to think about. That's kind of freaky, man. That's weird to think about. Next one. Let's go to the next one. When I was 16, I woke up into one of those very vivid real-life dreams. Okay, so you lucid dream. What happened, man? All right. Like a dream where you wake up in your room and you don't realize you're dreaming. I sat upright in bed and looked sideways to my door and saw a figure laying in my doorway. The figure said, "Your dad will die when you're 22. Then I actually woke up, laying in bed too nervous to turn around and look at the door. Dude, why are all these stories kind of low-key kind of creepy, man? Alright. The next morning at breakfast, I told my family, including my dad, about the dream. Everyone was uneasy, and then my dad said, "Don't worry about it. Now you've told me, there's no way that would happen." He died tragically and suddenly when I was 22. Dude, these are looking kind of creepy. I might have to move on from these. I might have to get some I don't know. I might have to start searching for real Reddit stories that are funnier and maybe more clickbaity. I lost my V card when